Hello, hello. I'm the official narrator. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, there's a lot of videos, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today, we're looking at the fire starter of Sinnoh, Chimchar, Monferno, and Infernape. Wow, I'm really having to think about the names of these Pokemon because I can't remember. Okay, so I checked this because, honest to God, I actually thought that this was a reference to Dragon Ball Z, which it does say the Dragon Ball Z protagonist, so maybe that's why. But no, Son Goku is actually what they call the Monkey King, or Sun Wukong in Japanese, so cool, that's nice. I don't necessarily have a problem with it, but mostly just because, like, I know I'm going to see Wukong or Sun Wukong 50 billion times. Yes, it's based off the Monkey King. Yes, you're naming it what it's based off of, which is not necessarily creative in the slightest. But I'm gonna let this one slide and just go with it. The one I think here is funny is Fire Monkey, which is like, it's very basic and it lacks originality. Homeboy, that's like almost all of your names. Like 90% of them are of that wavelength. This is on tier for you. However, Scorchimp I actually kind of like. Like, I feel like this would be the kind of name that could almost sound official. Like, they probably could have used something like that for Monferno instead. It would have worked. And then Wildfire we've seen thousands of times before. Arcanine, Ponyta, whatever. Throw it onto whatever fire-type Pokemon you want, it'll fit. I don't know who the hell Charlotte is, but I actually do kind of like Kung Fu. That one's kind of cute. And honestly, I think I prefer it more than Wukong just because, well, I'm expecting to see Sun Wukong thousands of times. I'm not expecting to see Kung Fu. I'm sure that's probably been used lots of times in other places, but this is the first time I've ever seen it. Okay, so I'm fine with the idea of naming Pokemon after musicians or bands or whatever. The only thing about this that gets me is the whole have similar voices part. I don't know if he's serious or if he's making a jab at Axl Rose or something, but otherwise I'm fine with this. The idea that he can even try and explain his reasoning I think is a good thing, because a lot of times people will just say either have something half-baked or won't have anything at all, as to where he can at least kind of back up his reasoning behind it. So I'm fine with it. Again, musician-based nicknames are totally good with me. I don't think we've ever seen Arson before, but if you want, you can throw that to any fire-type Pokemon you want, and it'll fit. I don't know. I don't really have a problem with it. We've talked about Avatar quite a fair bit. Katara, Toph, Zuko, they're all fine. You could throw them onto just about anyone in a weird way. I guess Chimchar, Infernape, and Zuko kind of work a little bit better, because at least the firefighting type thing. Hey, look! That's where the Tumblr guy got his name from. Sideburns is actually kind of funny. I think Sideburns might work closer to Emboar, because doesn't Emboar have something like that? Like little sideburns going on? Hotspot, we've seen this before. I think it works best with Typhlosion, because literally the spots on its back are meant to be where its fire comes out. Okay, I'm getting tired of seeing Dante, so I'm going to acknowledge it. It's not going to make the Dante go away, but it is going to make the comments go away. I don't care. I see it all the fucking time for every single fire starter we ever do. It's kind of on the same vein of the same mythology bullshit. It's cliche and nothing interesting about it. We basically saw Hothead earlier on Axl Rose, but in case you didn't want to use Axl Rose or the analogy went over your head, Hothead is also an acceptable option. You could use for just about any fire type. It works good for Infernape because it's on its head. Also, look. There's another one that the Tumblr idiot took. This joke doesn't work because why would the Fire Nation attack itself? Anyway, Roku or Iroh could work. Personally, I think Iroh is the weakest of the three firebenders if I had to pick one, but yeah, Roku's a cool idea too. It probably is lost because, what is that, like a remote or something? It's some sort of thing that exists in the real world now. Ozai, another Avatar name, which I'm only going to mention this just because it's spelled similarly, and I think I've said this every time I've seen Ozai. There's a Yu-Gi-Oh card called Ukazi, which is basically like, oh look, you took damage from fire, doesn't that suck ass? So I've considered that as a generic fire type nickname. If you wanted to throw that onto whoever, you could do that as well. I'll acknowledge Tarzan just because typical monkey thing, though. I mean, it wasn't relevant 8 years ago, but it is now. Now, I think if you were to pick Tarzan, maybe consider Rillaboom, because that's going to fit a little bit better, as it has the whole grass monkey going on with it, ape going on with it. I mean, there's also, like, Simisage, Pansage, whatever it is, those two. But I think Rillaboom's a better choice between them two. I was trying to remember why Brass Monkey sounded familiar to me. It's a Beastie Boys song. It wouldn't fit then, I can guarantee it'll fit now. If you can find a way to think of a song and it works as a nickname, I fully support it because that's a very difficult task to do. Rafiki, more monkey-based nicknames. That's Lion King. We don't have a baboon Pokemon yet, do we? I guess Infernape would probably be the closest because of its facial markings. Diddy Kong is one I basically kind of expect to see, and I feel like it would be predictable. I don't think it's a bad idea, I just don't think it's one I would ever use in my life, ever. I don't know. Just something about it just doesn't feel like it translates to Pokemon as a cool nickname idea, so if you want to, that's on you, but I don't know, it's just not my taste. Also, I'm going to go ahead and break the rules because this isn't technically on the first page of Google, but this is one we frequent and I'm looking at it and I see it. I'm going to click on this one. So, I've been seeing Caesar a lot, and I didn't get it. And do you know why I didn't get it? Because Caesar is just a generic bitch name. I would not have thought of, yes, specific monkey movie. Yes, I probably should have. I'll admit, that's on me. But Caesar's also a salad, and it's also some Greek-ass motherfucker. So, Caesar is not an original name in of itself. It does not stand out by itself. If you name something Timmy, who the fuck is Timmy? This is the same shit. So although if you want to do your Planets of the Apes thing, that's fine, but don't guarantee that everyone's going to understand it when you give it some basic name. You can't just type in Caesar into Google and figure that answer out. You're going to wonder who the fuck Caesar is. Okay, so although I like the idea of Chimchar as just a funny joke, that's too long and it doesn't fit. If your joke is too long and doesn't fit, you just made a bad joke and you just wasted everyone's time. Also, I want to call this guy out for being a fucking twat because don't put your stupid titles like this. Oh my god, I hate you. If I could dislike your video without watching it, I would do it.
This is what you should name it. I swear I'm not desperate for attention, guys. I'm not a fucking loser.
Fuck you. So rather than naming it Lim, I think the better idea would have just been calling it Muay Thai. I don't know why the fuck you picked Lim. Like, Muay Thai sounds better, and it kind of like... It reminds me a little bit of like how the Machamp line was like Karate, Kung Fu, Judo. So, like, you could have sock and throw. Like, it fits that same kind of thing. So, I think Infernape could get away with it, opposed to something like, I don't know, Conkeldurr being called Bodybuilder. It feels like it works a little bit better, and you could get away with calling it Muay Thai, and Lim makes you kind of look stupid by comparison, because you had this better name, and you chose the worst one. I kind of like the fact that people have to explain what the fuck the sun is. It's not that hard to figure out! Same shit as Caesar. Louis is anybody. It doesn't stand out. It's just a basic name of a regular person. Mojo Jojo works as other monkey-based nicknames if you want to do that. I don't really care. We've reached the bottom. We've seen a lot of nicknames, and I mean a lot. Do not ever be this guy. Ever. You should be ashamed of yourself if you ever do, like, video titles or something like that. Like, it's just cringe out of 10. Don't. Fuck you. Spreadsheet has, like, one suggestion which blows my fucking mind. I don't know who that is. I don't care. I'm sure I probably saw it earlier and just went past it. Everything on the Tumblr Idiots page was literally stolen from Pokemon.net. Literally everything. Sun Wukong, Wukong, Son Goku. Those were like the most popular choices. So not only are they like incredibly unoriginal because you're naming your Meowth cat, but it's the most popular choice to name your Meowth cat. The ones that kind of stood out to me that I thought like I think are worth highlighting, I guess, would be Kung Fu, just because, I don't know, I kind of like it. It's simple. Scorchimp, which I think kind of works as almost an official name. And before I go into my personal recommendation, let's go over the comments. First, going over what we saw in the Torterra episode, since his was all grouped together. I kind of think, like, at first I saw Spirit Bomb and I was like, I don't care. But, like, considering how much Goku I've seen today, I think Spirit Bomb's probably the best choice for his thematic. But, I mean, unless you're trying to do something the same way he is, I don't know. I don't really care. I don't Dragon Ball Z. Maybe it appeals to you. It certainly fits the whole Goku thing that's been shoved down my throat for the last 30 minutes. I had to reread this because I thought it said Chimpy, and I know I saw Chimpy on Pokemon.net, and, like, that's just boring, and it also kind of makes me think of Banjo-Kazooie, because that's, like, the little chimp's name. Chimpney is a little bit better because, I mean, it's more of a play on words. So, if that's your dig and you like it, there's another idea for you. I had to look this one up because I wasn't sure what it is. Again, I don't Dragon Ball, so... Again, we've seen a lot of Dragon Ball today, so picking something else that's related to Dragon Ball or Goku, but also not being that, I think is nice. And then Ukiki, which I really like, but personally, I save that for Pansage, Simisage, the Grass Monkey of Unova, because I feel like connecting Ukiki, which is typically seen in, like, foresty environments, to a grass-based monkey, I just like that better. You could use it for whatever monkey the hell you want, but I personally go with Pansage Simisage. Now, the one I personally use is a little less tasteful, and I'm going to pay close attention to my subscriber count to see how far this dips. I do not mind dark humor. Like, I like South Park, I like Dave Chappelle. This was not my idea, this was not my joke. This came from a friend of mine, and I thought it was hilarious. He named his Torch Monkey, a little joke off the racial slur. He's black, Dave Chappelle style, black man making black jokes. I just thought it was funny. He's into that kind of humor as well, so there you go. Like, I understand, but I don't know, I just thought it was funny, and that's kind of a cute play on words with just also the just the horrible implications. I'm not racist, but I thought the name was funny. That's all there is to it. If you hate me and you're unsubscribed, that's fine. I'm gonna keep doing my thing. I didn't do this to be famous. I did this because I wanted to be the outlet for nicknames. Other words, what other nicknames, ideas, and suggestions you have for the Chimchar, Monferno, Infernape line, feel free to put those in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones that you think are good, and if you keep your subscription, thank you. It's nice to know you have a sense of humor. I'll see you for the next episode for Empoleon, where you get to stay and we can be friends.